My wife said I was beneath her, so I made sure she hit rock bottom without me. Now she wants me back, but I don't settle for ungrateful trash. I am 38 years old and still trying to absorb what just transpired. I've been married to Rachel for 6 years, and together for 8. Yesterday, everything exploded in the most rude manner possible. Let me start with some context. Diane, Rachel's mother, has always disliked me. I work as a plumber and make roughly $80,000 per year. I own my house entirely and have no debt. But Diane wanted Rachel to marry a corporate lawyer or a doctor. She's been making sarcastic remarks about Rachel marrying beneath her level for years, and I'm just a craftsman. Rachel always stated she didn't care what her mother thought, defended our relationship, and said she loved me for who I was. I believed her. Apparently, that was my error. My phone buzzed yesterday afternoon while I was finishing off a job. Text from Rachel. Alex, I've been thinking a lot lately. My mom was right about us. I settled for you. I deserve better than a plumber who comes home dirty every day. I want a separation. I sat in my pickup, staring at the text for about 10 minutes. 6 years of marriage. 8 years together. It's settled for me. Her mom was correct. My response was short. Message received. I then drove home. Rachel's automobile was not there. Good. That meant she was probably at Diane's place, celebrating her big reveal or something. I wandered through the house, admiring all of her belongings spread throughout. Clothes from her part-time boutique employment, combined with pricey items Diane had purchased over the years. I renovated the makeup area on the bathroom counter myself. Her exercise equipment is in the spare room. Her books, her decorations. Her entire life is tied up with mine. However, she seemed to have settled for everything. I began packing. Everything she owned was packed into boxes and garbage bags, including clothes, shoes, jewelry, and the silly throw pillows she thought we needed. Diane gifted her a coffee machine for Christmas, her collection of wine glasses from several journeys. All of it. It took me until almost 10 p.m. to wrap up 6 years of her settling for me. I placed everything into my pickup and headed directly to Diane's house. Diane answered the door in her robe, appearing perplexed. Alex, what are you doing here so late? Why do you have all those boxes? These are Rachel's belongings. She texted me today that she settled for me and wants a separation. Since she's clearly unhappy with our arrangement, I thought she'd be more comfortable back home with you. Diane's face turned white. What? No, there must be some misunderstanding. Rachel loves you. Check your daughter's phone, Diane. The text is pretty clear. She settled for a plumber. Your advice finally got through to her. I began unloading boxes on the front porch. Diane continued to protest, but I didn't listen. Rachel approached the door, astonished. Alex, what are you doing? I didn't mean for you to just throw my stuff out. You said you settled for me, Rachel. I'm just making sure you don't have to settle anymore. Your mom was right. Apparently, you deserve better than a plumber. I was upset. I didn't mean it like that. You meant it exactly like that. 6 years of marriage, and this is what you really think of me. Message received, loud and clear. I finished unpacking and then drove home. It was almost midnight when I returned. The house felt different, quieter, but also cleaner. Rachel began phoning at 8 a.m. the following morning. I didn't respond. Then the text began. Alex, please, we need to talk. This is crazy. I was having a bad day. I didn't mean what I said. You can't just dump my stuff and leave me at my mom's. I did not respond to any of them. Update 1. The previous 3 days have been a masterclass in backpedaling and manipulation attempts. Rachel arrived at the residence Tuesday morning. I was getting ready for work when I heard her try to put her key in the lock. I hadn't changed the locks yet, so her key still worked. I greeted her at the door. Alex, we need to talk. This is our house. Not anymore, it isn't. You made it clear. You settled for this life. I'm freeing you from that burden. I was emotional. I said things I didn't mean. Please, let me come back. Rachel, you texted me that your mother was right, and you settled for me. After 6 years of marriage, that's not something you say by accident. But this is my home too. Where am I supposed to live? At your mother's house, where your stuff is. You get to live with someone who thinks you deserve better than a plumber. Her face turned crimson. You can't just kick me out. I have rights. Rachel, you asked for separation. You got it. Figure out your living situation with Diane. That's when she completely lost it. She started crying, stating she had made a mistake. She loves me. She's not sure why she said such things. Classic manipulation playbook. Rachel, you don't accidentally tell your husband he's beneath you. That comes from somewhere real. Your mom finally convinced you I'm not good enough and you agreed. That's fine. But I'm not staying married to someone who looks down on me. I departed for work. When I arrived home that evening, I replaced all of the locks. It cost me $200, but it was worth every penny. Then Diane began calling. I left 4 voicemails on Tuesday night. Alex, this is Diane. Please call me back. Rachel is devastated. Alex, you're being unreasonable. She made a mistake. Everyone says things they don't mean. Alex, she loves you. Please don't throw away 6 years over one text message. Alex, please call me back. We need to fix this. I removed them all. On Wednesday, Rachel took a different strategy. She showed up on my employment site, a big mistake. I was installing a new water heater for Mrs. Keller, a previous client. Rachel walked into this lady's basement like she owned it. Alex, we need to talk right now. This has gone on long enough. Mrs. Keller appeared perplexed and uneasy. I felt humiliated and outraged. Rachel, you need to leave. I'm working. I don't care if you're working. You're my husband, and you're acting like a child. Mrs. Keller stepped forwards. Excuse me, miss, but this is my home, and Alex is here doing a job I hired him for. You need to leave. Rachel went on her with that entitled attitude that I had evidently overlooked for the previous 6 years. This doesn't concern you, lady. I'm talking to my husband. That did it. I stopped what I was doing and stared Rachel dead in the eye. Mrs. Keller, I apologize for this interruption. Rachel, get out of here right now or I'm calling the police for trespassing. You wouldn't dare. I took out my phone. Try me. Rachel eventually left, but not before causing a spectacle that would most likely provide Mrs. Keller with enough gossip for the month. Mrs. Keller was actually cool with it. Trouble at home, Alex. Getting divorced, Mrs. Keller. Sorry you had to see that. Happens to the best of us, son. You seem like a good man. Diane called once more that evening. This time, I responded. Alex, thank goodness. Rachel is beside herself. She's been crying for 3 days straight. Diane, your daughter told me she settled for me after 6 years of marriage. She said you were right about me not being good enough for her. What exactly do you want me to do with that information? A long pause. She was upset, Alex. She didn't mean it. She meant every word, Diane. You've been filling her head with poison about me for years, and it finally took. Congratulations, you won. That's not fair. I just want what's best for Rachel. Then find her a nice lawyer or doctor, someone who meets your standards. I'm just a plumber, remember. I hung up. Felt quite good, honestly. Update 2. 2 weeks later. 2 weeks after the text, things had become increasingly desperate on their end. Rachel began by pursuing the friendship angle. Her best friend Lauren called me last Friday. Alex, what you're doing to Rachel is cruel. She made one mistake, and you're destroying her life over it. Lauren, she told me she settled for me. That her mother was right about me not being good enough. How exactly is that one mistake? She was having a bad day at work. She was stressed. You know how Rachel gets when she's overwhelmed. I know she shows her true feelings when she's stressed. Apparently 6 years, Lauren. 6 years. And this is what she really thinks of me. But she loves you, Alex. She's miserable without you. She's miserable because her backup plan isn't working out. She wanted me to grovel and beg forgiveness for being a plumber. Instead, I gave her exactly what she asked for. Lauren tried to guilt-trip me for another 10 minutes. I hung up when she began crying. Then Rachel's sister, Emily, became involved. She arrived at my residence Sunday morning. Alex, you need to forgive Rachel. She's family. She was family, Emily. Then she decided I wasn't good enough for her family. One text message, Alex. You're ending 6 years over one text message? It wasn't just a text, Emily. It was 6 years of your mother telling Rachel she married beneath her. It was years of snide comments and disapproval. That text was just Rachel finally agreeing with Diane. Emily used the same arguments as everyone else. I told her just what I told the rest of them. Rachel made her decision. She can now live with it. This week, Rachel's financial realities began to sink in. Her part-time boutique job barely covers her car and phone expenses. She sent me a long email on Wednesday requesting that I continue to pay the joint credit card we used for home expenditures. My reply was straightforward. You settled for me, remember? Find someone better to pay your bills. I called the credit card company and deleted myself as an authorized user, leaving Rachel solely accountable for any additional payments. Diane called in tears on Thursday. Alex, please be reasonable. Rachel is struggling financially. She can't afford to live on her boutique salary. Diane, I didn't abandon anyone. Rachel told me she settled for me and wanted separation. She can figure out her finances like any other adult. She needs help. Alex, you were married 6 years. Don't you have any compassion? Compassion for someone who thinks they settled for me? Sorry, Diane. Fresh out. I never meant for this to happen, Alex. I just thought maybe Rachel had other options. She had the best option, Diane. A husband who loved her and took care of her. Instead, she chose to believe she settled. That's her option now. Diane broke down in tears. What do you want from us, Alex? What will fix this? Nothing will fix this, Diane. Rachel showed me who she really is. You both did. The harassment escalated on Friday. Rachel arrived at my house with a police officer. The cop appeared fatigued, as if he'd rather be anywhere else. Officer, I'd like to get some of my belongings from the house, but my husband changed the locks. I stepped out. Officer, my wife texted me requesting separation. I accommodated her request. All of her belongings were delivered to her mother's house, where she's currently living. She has no belongings remaining here. The officer stared at Rachel. Ma'am, did you request separation from your husband? Rachel's face turned red. Well, yes, but I didn't mean he should lock me out. Ma'am, if you requested separation and he provided your belongings to you safely, this is a civil matter between spouses. I can't force him to give you access to property that's in his name. Rachel tried to argue, but the cop wasn't interested. He left after advising us to consult attorneys if we couldn't figure it out. That night, I received the most revealing call yet. Diane returned, but this time, she was desperate. Alex, what do you want? How can we fix this? There's nothing to fix, Diane. Rachel settled for me. I'm setting her free to find someone better. But what if she can't find anyone better? The question remained in the air. Finally, Diane admitted what we all knew. Then she'll learn the value of what she threw away, Diane. But it'll be too late. Please, Alex, I'll talk to her. I'll tell her to apologize properly. Diane, it's not about apologies anymore. It's about respect. Rachel doesn't respect me. You taught her not to. That's not something you can apologize away. I hung up and unplugged the landline. My phone was already set to send unknown numbers to voicemail. Final update. 6 weeks later. It had been 6 weeks since the text that ended my marriage. It's time for the final update, since this story has come to its logical conclusion. The abuse lasted for another week after I disconnected the landline. Rachel tried many approaches. She tried to contact me at work by calling the company main line. She tried to send me messages through neighbors. She even contacted my brother and asked him to mediate. My response remained consistent. She settled for me. I set her free. Conversation is over. My brother actually provided the best advice. Alex, if someone tells you they settled for you, believe them the first time. Don't give them a chance to prove it again. My brother, you are a smart man. Rachel made one last desperate move, which proved to be the turning point. She contacted 3 of my frequent customers, citing a family emergency and requesting that I call her quickly. That crossed a line. My clients are not her personal messaging service. I called my lawyer. It cost me $500, but he wrote Rachel and Diane a letter saying that exploiting bogus emergencies to contact me via my business clients may be deemed harassment. The letter was polite yet strong. Any additional attempts to contact me through third parties will result in my getting a restraining order. The contact efforts ceased instantly. However, the true repercussions occurred organically. Rachel's financial realities struck hard. Her part-time boutique job earns approximately $1,200 per month. After paying her car payment, insurance, phone bill, and other necessities, she had almost nothing left. Living with Diane helped with housing, but her retirement income was insufficient to sustain both of them comfortably. Rachel tried to find better work, but 6 years of part-time retail experience doesn't exactly wow employers. The employment she may get would pay the same or less than her current salary. Diane found how expensive it is to sustain a jobless adult daughter. Despite years of telling Rachel she deserved better, she never pondered the practical realities of who would pay for it. The final piece fell into place 3 weeks ago. Emily revealed after a fortuitous encounter at the grocery store that Rachel had been speaking with her ex-boyfriend Brandon from college. Brandon apparently works as a financial advisor now, makes good money, drives a great automobile. She's been texting with him, Emily added. I think she's hoping maybe they could reconnect. I nearly laughed. Good for her, Emily. Hope it works out. Emily seemed surprised. You don't care? Emily, your sister told me she settled for me. If Brandon can give her the life she thinks she deserves, more power to both of them. But what if it doesn't work out? Then she'll learn that the grass isn't always greener, Emily, but that's not my problem anymore. Diane called last week from a number I hadn't blocked. She sounded fatigued. Alex, I need to tell you something. Rachel's been talking to Brandon again. Good for her, Diane. You always said she could do better. But Alex, Brandon isn't the same person he was in college. He's had 2 divorces. He's got financial problems, child support payments. Rachel doesn't know any of this. Then maybe you should tell her, Diane. Or maybe let her figure it out herself. She's making another mistake, Alex. Brandon isn't half the man you are. The irony was thick enough to be sliced with a knife. Diane, 6 weeks ago you thought Rachel settled for me. Now suddenly I'm better than her other options. Which is it? The stillness was long. I was wrong, Alex. I was so wrong about everything. Yes, you were, Diane. But being wrong doesn't undo the damage. Rachel believed you. That text proved it. She knows she made a mistake now, Alex. She sees what her life is like without you. She sees what her bank account is like without me, Diane. That's different than understanding she was wrong. What would it take, Alex? What would it take for you to forgive her? Nothing, Diane. There was nothing she could do. Rachel revealed to me that she believes she has settled for me, and I believe her. Diane was crying now. She loves you, Alex. She likes my paycheck, Diane. She loves the stability I offer, and she loves the lifestyle I have enabled. But if she loved me, she would not have sent that text. I hung up and blocked that number too. Divorce papers were filed yesterday. Rachel will receive whatever the law needs for spousal support, which will most likely be transitory, given that we were only married for 6 years and she is capable of working. The house is still mine because it was purchased prior to marriage and no upgrades were made with marital cash. Brandon can handle her financial expectations right now. I saw Mrs. Keller at the hardware shop yesterday. She inquired about the current state of affairs. Much better, Mrs. Keller. Divorce is almost final. Good for you, Alex. That woman had no appreciation for what she had. She's correct. Rachel preferred someone other than a plumber. Diane desired a son-in-law with a degree and a suit. They're both free to pursue their goals now. As for me, I'm sleeping better than I have in years. My home is calm. My bank account is rising faster now that I'm not paying for the costs of others. I've been going to the gym more, spending more time with friends, and even considering going fishing in Alaska, which I've always wanted to do. I'm not angry anymore. I am grateful. Rachel's text was the most open communication we'd had in years. She settled for me, and I settled for someone who believed they were superior to me. We don't have to settle anymore. Rachel texted me one last time yesterday from a new phone number. I just watched that this morning. Alex, I made the biggest mistake of my life. Brandon isn't who I thought he was. I lost the best thing I ever had. Please give me one more chance. My reply was simple. You were right the first time. You did settle for me. Don't do it again. I then blocked the number. The best form of vengeance is not complicated plots. It is refusing to accept disrespect and allowing people to face the natural consequences of their actions. Rachel decided to believe she had settled for me. She can now live with that decision. And I get to live without someone who believes plumbers aren't good enough. We each got precisely what we deserved.